There's a certain type of gun that you really might as well just say goodbye to, and it's really very unfortunate for historical reasons. But ultimately, the White House passed some rules, not even laws, just some rules, and now there's a certain type of gun you just can't see anymore. It's going to be gone from the world. Now, before I get into it, I do want to take a moment and thank our sponsor, ES Power Drink, for really making this delicious drink with Trinidad scorpion peppers in it that has been a tremendous health benefit for me. I'm losing weight, I have more energy, I sleep better, I have a better outlook on life, and I can't eat a Trinidad scorpion pepper. I mean, and if I did, I'd be once, and I'd be like, I'm never doing that again. But I could put this delicious drink down once a week and reap the health benefits of it. That link is below. All right, well, what am I getting at here with these guns? Because ultimately what I'm talking about is I'm talking about homemade guns. And you might think, well, because what the White House is going to put a spin on is that these homemade guns are, making their way into the crime world and that sort of thing. But let's talk about historical first. John Browning began his career by making homemade guns. Most gun manufacturers out there back in the day, this is how they learned how to make guns. So you will never have John Brownings in America anymore, or Colts, or none of these people will exist in this world anymore. You would have to be a designer for a gun manufacturer in order to really produce any gun. Now, I have a friend of mine who literally a few years ago, he went out and he purchased the machining equipment to make 1911s. And he's only made one, but he is so proud of that 1911. And honestly, I would like one of his 1911s. I mean, I'm sure they're it's a homemade 1911. What's not to love? But you can't do this anymore. This is not a thing because, they're putting the criminal spin on all this because, one, John Browning helped shape America. The 1911 was the military sidearm until 1984. All through World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, just you name it, there was a 1911 on that battlefield. Not to mention his machine guns, his rifles, his lever guns. You can go on and on and on about what John Browning has achieved simply because he had a curiosity in the beginning to make his own guns. And that's how he began. But you can't have that in America anymore. If I was a machinist and I wanted to make my own gun, technically now I would be breaking, I don't want to say it's breaking the law, it's more breaking the rules. Because it's not a law, it's just a rule. It's just a rule that somebody just made up and now it's a rule. You can't make homemade guns anymore. So this is a major problem, I believe, especially for historical reasons. It's a major problem for the future because, again, you're taking thousands of inventors out of the equation when it comes to advancing the technology of the firearm here in America because it's against the rules for them to make guns now. This is a big problem, big problem. And, here's the thing. If you were a criminal making guns, this isn't going to affect you at all. This is not going to affect you. Like, if you're a criminal making guns, you're going to keep making guns. You're a criminal making guns. But if you're an inventor, it's going to affect you. Because that's really ultimately what this new rule says is we are not allowed to invent firearms anymore in this country. That now it's against the rules. No firearms are allowed to be invented unless you're an FFL and a firearm manufacturer. And even then, there's all these lawsuits coming against you. It's just a mess to be a firearm inventor right now. It is just literally a hot mess. So there you go. I do want to open up the dialogue on, because I'm just kind of thinking of historical and future things that are really the problem with this. The idea that there's not going to be any home inventors anymore. What do you see as the problem of this new rule? Why won't we see this gun anymore? What is the problem with that? Because I'm telling you, it's not going to stop any crime at all. It is only going to stop the home hobbyists and the home inventors is really the only thing it's going to affect. So again, put your thoughts below. Any insights you might have on this, definitely put it below. If you are an inventor, I probably wouldn't comment because I don't know. It's a hard time to be an inventor, I would think, especially when it comes to the firearm industry. What are your thoughts? Is this the end of the John Browning era? No more John Brownings out there? Put your comments below. Again, I want to give another shout out to ES Power Drink. That is also below. Definitely check that out. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.